Many men in the 21st century question their masculinity. They believe they are weaker and less confident than more masculine men. There is no shame in thinking so. There is a big difference between being a man and being a man. A man is who you are at birth. A man is what you must be. The good news is that no matter who you are, what you look like, or where you're from, there are some male triggers that will make you feel more masculine and confident when used every day. Trigger number 1. Challenge yourself. The task is to find a whetstone for sharpening the male blade. In fact, challenge is the engine of human success. From building gigantic skyscrapers and founding gigantic technology companies to starting wars to conquer other nations, challenges keep us moving forward. Again, there is another lesser-known fact. Most of our ancestors are female. This means that most men in history have never been able to reproduce, perhaps your greatest biological goal in life. Men back then knew that instinctively, so what did they do? They improved themselves to better pass on their genes. They got tougher, coarser, mentally sharp. It was they who faced the challenges of life and developed powerful inner dominance. As a result, they were those who slept and had children. If all humans that have ever lived had reproduced, humans would have died out long ago due to overpopulation. Fortunately, nature has built-in protections against this. It's survival of the fittest. Species that do not grow and adapt are wiped out. Trigger number 2. Become self-reliant. In traditional societies, men were the main breadwinners of the household. I rarely needed too much outside help to support my family. Obviously, that's no longer the case, but confidence is still an important part of the male psyche. Modern society teaches us to rely on external stimuli to make us feel good. For example, we often rely on social media likes for verification. If you want to be a man, you have to learn how to get approval and validation from within. Being independent is not the same as being self-sufficient. No one is an island. It's not truly self-sufficient unless it's completely off the grid. Self-reliance means relying on yourself first and foremost to deliver the end result, although you may get a friendly nudge in the process. Trigger number 3. Complete the rite of passage. In many cultures, there is a distinct transition from childhood to adulthood. It is symbolized by a test or physical initiation. For example, in ancient Sparta, boys were released into the wild to support themselves. When they returned, they were baptized as men. There is no equivalent test in mainstream Western society. As you can imagine, this creates major social problems. Many men today are stuck in a state of stopped puberty and don't know how to be men. Trigger number 4. Testosterone. All men have elevated levels of a specific hormone called testosterone. Because of this, we have a tendency to chase two things, fighting and fucking. Unfortunately, the former is seen as downright bad, and the purpose of the latter is distorted in today's society. It all depends on the context. Fighting is not wrong in this case. This is how men keep each other sharp. Remember that combat is also mental, psychological warfare? The boys in the schoolyard fight ruthlessly because they feel a natural need to fight to resolve conflicts. Male rams, bears, and other animals also often fight each other in the wild when competing for mates or settling disputes. Have you seen the movie Fight Club? It is a distillation of the same male-opposite tendencies. Trigger number 5. Create your own. Many great discoveries come from the minds of men. Conquerors, adventurers, scientists, philosophers, inventors, they all had a strong desire to push the boundaries and create new things that would make the world a better place. Unfortunately, we now live in a society that encourages consumption over creation, which is a big reason why many men today feel castrated. There are several ways to do this. Create a side project just for fun. Do what you're passionate about and put your heart into it.